Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds to another thrilling journey into the hidden world of valuable coins that might just be hiding in your pockets, drawers, or old jars, waiting to turn your ordinary day into a life-changing moment of discovery. Today we're diving deep into the captivating story of the 1997 Jefferson 5-cent coin, a small yet astonishing piece of American minting history that, due to a unique combination of errors, minting quirks, and collector demand, has reached an unbelievable value of over $300,000, a story so rich in mystery and numismatic wonder that it could rival the rarest artifacts in the collecting world. So sit tight, listen closely, and prepare to be amazed, because what appears to be a common nickel might just be one of the most valuable coins of modern times. And you'll soon discover why this specific 1997 5-cent coin, minted in Denver, has become such a prized treasure among coin collectors, error hunters, and investors alike who seek the thrill of finding value in the overlooked. Now let's unravel what makes this coin so exceptional, starting with the background of the Jefferson nickel itself, which began its journey in 1938 replacing the Buffalo nickel and quickly became a staple of American change, with Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse and his famous home Monticello on the reverse. But in 1997 something unusual occurred at the Denver Mint, a facility known for its high output production that typically meets the demands of circulation with precision and consistency. Yet in this particular year, and for a very specific number of coins, several mistakes slipped through the rigorous quality control mechanisms and created a batch of nickels that were far from ordinary, carrying with them striking mint errors that numismatists now pay handsomely to acquire. And among these errors, the most dramatic and value-boosting ones include off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank is not properly aligned within the press, resulting in part of the design being cut off while the rest of the coin appears shifted. And these off-center nickels can range from slight misalignments to dramatic 90% off-center strikes where only a sliver of Jefferson's portrait remains visible, instantly boosting the coin's rarity and value depending on the percentage of the off-center strike and whether the date and mint mark remain legible. Another major error found on some 1997 nickels is the double die error, a fascinating and highly prized mistake caused during the die creation process when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once in misaligned positions, resulting in noticeable doubling of letters, numbers, and design features such as the word Liberty, Jefferson's eye, or the Monticello building. And when this doubling is dramatic and visible to the naked eye, it greatly enhances the desirability and worth of the coin, especially when accompanied by a strong grade and clear details certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, which play a crucial role in determining the authenticity and market value of these error coins. But the errors don't stop there. In the case of the 1997 Jefferson nickel, other types of minting mistakes such as die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly impressions of the opposite side's design, or cut errors where a piece of the die breaks off leaving a blob of extra metal on the coin's surface, or even planchet errors where the metal blank itself is flawed, can contribute to the coin's exceptional uniqueness and value. And in some rarer instances, coins from this year have surfaced with clip planchets, meaning the coin was struck on a metal blank that had a missing crescent-shaped portion due to a misfeed in the blanking press process, which collectors find visually stunning and intriguing, adding to the list of collectible appeal. And perhaps one of the most astonishing findings reported by collectors is the existence of 1997 nickels with transitional errors, which are coins struck with either wrong planchet types, such as being accidentally struck on a dime planchet making it smaller and lighter than standard, or even having incorrect metal composition for the year, all of which make for tremendously rare specimens that can command thousands of dollars at auctions or private sales. And it's these errors combined with condition, eye appeal, and certified authenticity that push the value of certain 1997 nickels to the staggering $300,000 range, especially when collectors are competing to own the finest known examples of these mistakes. And as with all valuable coins, provenance, grade, and rarity converge to establish a premium price point, meaning that if your 1997 nickel has one or more of these aforementioned errors and it is graded in uncirculated or mint state condition, you could be sitting on an item of tremendous worth far beyond its 5-cent face value. And this is precisely what happened in several reported cases where individual sellers, not even aware of the potential treasure they were holding, submitted their seemingly ordinary nickel to grading services only to discover that it bore multiple high-value attributes, sparking a bidding war among collectors eager to secure this piece of error coin history. And the market has responded with increasing demand for unique mint mistakes, especially those with dramatic visual differences, historic context, or unexpected production anomalies, leading to even common-looking nickels being re-evaluated and re-examined by both casual hobbyists and serious collectors who understand that coin collecting in today's world is no longer just about filling holes in albums, but also about investing in rare and often undervalued items that may appreciate over time or spark major interest at national auctions and beyond. The technicalities of errors and grading. What adds to the allure of the 1997 5-cent coin is the element of surprise, the thrill of the hunt, the potential of stumbling upon a tiny overlooked piece of metal that could rewrite your financial future or earn you recognition among the numismatic community. And in an era where attention is fleeting and most people overlook the small things, these coins remind us that sometimes great value hides in plain sight, waiting for a sharp eye and curious mind to notice, evaluate, and act. So if you're wondering whether your 1997 D nickel is worth big money, start by inspecting it closely for off-center strikes, doubling on the lettering or design elements, any unusual blobs or clips, mismatched metal or shape, or anything that feels off from a normal coin, and consider weighing it and checking its diameter to catch rond-planchet strikes. And if you spot anything suspicious or intriguing, your next step is to get a professional evaluation or submit it to a recognized coin grading service, because a coin with a major error in high grade, especially one with eye-catching details or certified provenance, can generate major attention in online collector groups, forums, and auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, both of which have sold modern era coins for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars due to their rarity and collector fervor. And while not every 1997 D nickel is worth a fortune, the right combination of factors, striking error, visible anomaly, solid grading, and collector buzz, can elevate it into a category of high-value numismatics that continues to grow year by year. And even for those who aren't seasoned collectors, the sheer possibility that your pocket change might include a $300,000 mistake coin is an exciting and motivating reason to start checking your coins today, learning about common and rare errors, and becoming part of a hobby that blends history, art, and treasure hunting into one electrifying pursuit. So don't dismiss the dull-looking nickel at the bottom of your coin jar, because if it's a 1997 D Jefferson 5-cent piece with a rare error, it might be the gateway to financial transformation and a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. And for those already immersed in the world of rare coins, the emergence of high-value modern errors like this one serves as a thrilling reminder that modern mint products are still susceptible to human and mechanical mistakes, and those mistakes, when caught and verified, can explode in value and become legendary additions to major collections. So the next time you receive a nickel and change, don't just pocket it and walk away. Pause, inspect, research, and dream, because numismatic history is full of surprises, and your next find might just be the elusive 1997 D 5-cent era coin worth $0.3 million or more. And with that, we conclude today's incredible story of how a tiny coin with humble beginnings became one of the most talked about and expensive modern nickels ever recorded in the world of numismatics. Thank you for joining us on this adventure, and if you love discovering hidden treasures, learning about rare coins, and exploring the rich history behind everyday objects, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode filled with potential fortune and fascinating stories hidden inside your change. Next. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising and mysterious discoveries in the world of numismatics, the 2012 P5-cent Jefferson nickel that has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching an astonishing market value of $6,382, not because of its age or the rarity of its mintage in terms of volume, but because of a remarkable series of errors and minting mistakes that have transformed an otherwise ordinary coin into a high-value collectible. And as we take you deep into the incredible journey of this specific coin, we'll unravel the extraordinary factors, the physical flaws, the subtle inconsistencies, and the complex interplay of minting history and collector psychology that contribute to the explosive rise in its perceived and actual value. So buckle in as we explore every crack, anomaly, and shadow of this coin's creation and legacy. First, let's lay the groundwork by understanding that the 2012 P5-cent coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility known for its massive production scale, churning out millions of coins in short spans of time, often leading to mechanical wear, planchet flaws, and press misalignments that, under certain circumstances, can result in the kinds of mint errors that drive collectors wild with desire and anticipation. And the 2012 issue was no different, as despite being one of the most modern nickels, it became the subject of intense scrutiny due to a surprising number of reported variations in just a short span following its circulation, drawing in expert numismatists who began identifying a wide range of errors from off-center strikes, die clashes, double dies, planchet defects, and even rare cases of missing design elements, each error a small accident, but together creating a perfect storm that gave rise to coins worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, with one particular specimen recently fetching $6,382 in a high-profile private auction. So what exactly are these errors that turn a 5-cent coin into a treasure trove? Let's start with one of the most widely reported anomalies found in the 2012 p nickels, off-center strikes, where the blank planchet fails to align correctly within the minting press, resulting in a misaligned impression of the design elements, sometimes leaving as much as 15 to 25% of the design missing or shifted noticeably off-axis, and while minor off-centers are relatively common, it's the dramatic and cleanly misaligned versions with readable dates and mint marks that attract top dollar, with collectors willing to pay thousands for these highly visible manufacturing errors that occur during the striking process, often due to high-speed production and die deterioration. Then we move on to the second most compelling flaw, die clashes, which occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a coin blank in between, leaving ghost-like impressions of the opposing design elements on each die that are then transferred onto subsequent coins, and in the 2012 p Jefferson nickel series, several coins have surfaced showing faint but unmistakable outlines of Monticello's pillars on Jefferson's profile or remnants of Jefferson's image behind Monticello's dome, and this form of damage, though accidental, fascinates collectors due to the rarity and uniqueness of each individual clash, as no two die clash errors are ever completely alike, thus giving each coin a one-of-a-kind fingerprint that boosts its desirability in a highly competitive market. Adding further to the mystique are double die errors, particularly evident in the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," where doubling is seen under magnification, caused by a misalignment during the hubbing process when the die is being engraved, resulting in letters that appear shadowed or thickened, and in the 2012 p series, such doubling has been spotted especially on the word "Liberty," with clear doubling on the Y and L, a subtle yet defining trait that immediately elevates the coin into a more valuable tier among collectors who specialize in die varieties. But perhaps even more fascinating are the planchet errors found in this series, where improperly prepared coin blanks or contaminants during the annealing process have led to discolored surfaces, unusual streaking, and lamination peels, all of which indicate a lapse in the quality control process of the mint, and one of the most coveted planchet flaws in the 2012 p nickel is the incomplete annealing effect, where uneven heating results in patches of dark, burnt coloring across the coin's surface that look almost volcanic in texture, making them visually striking and extremely collectible, especially when combined with other mint errors such as off-centering or doubling. Then we consider edge-related anomalies, like the rare but documented smooth edge variants where the normally reeded or fully struck rim is soft, incomplete, or even flat, which points to die fatigue or poor collar alignment during the striking process, and although not as visually dramatic as off-center errors, these subtle inconsistencies are closely watched by experienced collectors who specialize in edge diagnostics, a niche area of numismatics where the edge finish can sometimes mean the difference between a common coin and a rare anomaly worth thousands. Another potential contributor to the coin's staggering valuation is the existence of die cracks and cuds, where the die itself has physically cracked or chipped, leading to raised lines or blobs of extra metal appearing on the coin's surface, errors that are both easily visible to the naked eye and highly prized for their uniqueness. And one such 2012 p coin was reported to show a die break that extended diagonally from Jefferson's cheek to his collar, nicknamed the Scarface nickel by collectors, which gained so much notoriety online and at trade shows that its fame alone contributed to its $6,382 valuation when it finally sold, as stories and nicknames often boost a coin's legacy far beyond its physical characteristics. Moreover, it's important to consider that not all errors are visible. Some involve wrong planchets altogether, where a nickel design is mistakenly struck onto a blank intended for another denomination, such as a dime or a foreign coin blank, resulting in coins that are thinner, lighter, or a different metal altogether, and though such cases are incredibly rare, a small number of 2012 p nickels have been suspected to exist on improper metal compositions, showing weight discrepancies and odd coloration that hint at cross-metal strikes, a phenomenon so rare that when authenticated, such coins immediately fetch thousands of dollars due to their extreme rarity and accidental nature. Alongside the physical traits, the broader historical and cultural context of the 2012 p Jefferson nickel also contributes to its value, as the coin was minted in a year of transition within the mint, where increasing pressure to modernize machinery and digital engraving techniques led to more frequent inconsistencies during the early adaptation period. And this transitional chaos created the perfect environment for unnoticed errors to slip through the quality checks, especially during the high volume rush periods, making the 2012 batch one of the most error-prone in the decade, further feeding the frenzy among collectors scouring circulation rolls, coin shows, and estate sales for these elusive treasures. The human psychology of scarcity and narrative also plays a crucial role in the value escalation of this coin, as once collectors begin to talk about and trade error specimens, word spreads fast, and soon the demand far outpaces the actual number of available examples, particularly those in pristine uncirculated or mint state condition, and as the frenzy grows, so too does the price, with auctions becoming battlegrounds for enthusiasts hoping to secure their piece of numismatic history, and the $6,382 price tag is not only a reflection of the coin's physical rarity, but of its story, its fame, and its ability to excite passion within a tightly knit community of specialists and hobbyists. Additionally, the presence of third-party grading services such as PCGS and NGC have lent legitimacy and exposure to these error coins, as once an error is officially recognized and slabbed with an authenticated label, it gains prestige and permanence in the collector marketplace, often becoming a key reference specimen for future guides and catalogs. And one particular 2012 P nickel with multiple errors, an off-center strike combined with visible doubling and a minor die clash, received an MS66 designation and an error verified label from PCGS, further cementing its place in numismatic history and driving its final hammer price to an incredible $6,382. As the world of coin collecting continues to evolve, and as more people search through pocket change or inherited coin jars in the hopes of uncovering that one spectacular piece, the 2012 P5-cent coin stands as a shining example of how modern mint errors, when compounded and documented, can elevate a humble 5-cent piece into a high-value artifact with a story worthy of retelling, reminding us that the beauty of coin collecting lies not only in the metal and mint mark, but in the unpredictable human element of discovery, obsession, and legacy. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most remarkable error coins of the 21st century and want more rare coin stories and valuations that might be hiding in your very own change jar, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our journey through America's hidden coin treasures, because next time, the next $1 million mystery might be sitting right in your hand. Last. Today's episode uncovers a shocking revelation about a coin that you may have handled dozens of times without ever realizing the treasure you had in your hands, the 2015 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin, a piece of modern American coinage that on the surface may appear common, ordinary, and hardly worth more than its face value of 5 cents, but due to a remarkable series of minting errors, unique production anomalies, and collector frenzy, this specific coin has skyrocketed in worth, with certain rare error examples fetching up to $3,627 on the collector's market, and this sudden rise in value is not without reason, because when we peel back the layers of the coin's story, we find an intricate tale involving overlooked production mishaps at the Philadelphia Mint, combined with a surge of numismatic interest driven by rarity, aesthetic appeal, historical curiosity, and the demand for error coins that tell a story beyond their monetary denomination. And while most nickels from the 2015 production run remain mundane and circulate freely among pocket change and vending machines across the nation, a small fraction slipped through the cracks during quality control and emerged into the wild, bearing oddities so fascinating that coin experts, dealers, and collectors alike began scrambling to identify, authenticate, and acquire them, turning this modest nickel into a numismatic gem. And so today, we'll explore all the factors that make the 2015 P5-cent coin a modern marvel worth thousands, beginning with a detailed examination of the specific errors discovered, which include but are not limited to dramatic die cracks, severe off-center strikes, misaligned dies, double dies both on obverse and reverse, die cuts, partial collars, tilted hub doubling, planchet defects, lamination errors, and even wrong planchet strikes in certain astonishing instances. And perhaps one of the most frequently noted and visually striking errors on the 2015 P. Jefferson nickel is the double die obverse, where close inspection under magnification reveals pronounced doubling in Jefferson's eye, the word liberty, and the date itself, creating a blurred, shadow-like effect that signals to collectors that this coin is anything but ordinary. And while doubling in modern coins can sometimes be dismissed as mechanical doubling caused by die bounce, genuine doubled dies are a result of misalignment in the hubbing process during die creation, and they are much rarer, especially in the case of the 2015 P nickel, where the doubling is crisp and confined to key design elements, instantly boosting the coin's appeal and value. and then we turn our attention to off-center strikes, another class of error in which the planchet fails to align properly with the dies during striking, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing, pushed to the side, or warped in such a way that a portion of the blank metal remains untouched by the dies, and in the case of the 2015 P. off. Center errors ranging from 10% to 60% have been found, with greater premiums paid for higher percentages of misalignment, especially when the date and mint mark remain fully visible, which is crucial for authentication and value assessment, and these off-center strikes are prized both for their rarity and their immediate visual impact, making them stand out even to novice collectors. And moving forward, let's consider die cracks and die breaks, natural occurrences as dies age and degrade under the immense pressure of striking millions of coins, and these imperfections manifest on the coin's surface as raised lines or blobs of metal, sometimes forming along Jefferson's forehead, collar, or even running through the motto or fields of the coin, and larger die breaks known as die cuts can form on the rim and bleed into the design, dramatically altering the coin's appearance. And while these errors originate from worn or damaged dies, they create unique one-of-a-kind coins that are virtually impossible to replicate, making each one a small piece of minting history. And then there are the planchet-related issues such as lamination errors, where impurities or improper alloy mixing causes the surface of the coin to peel, bubble, or flake off, sometimes exposing the inner layers of the metal and giving the coin a rugged, torn appearance. And such planchet flaws on the 2015 P nickels have been observed on both obverse and reverse, especially in the field areas or around Jefferson's profile. And while unattractive to some, these types of errors are highly collectible and command premiums because they result from metallurgical flaws that are difficult to anticipate or control, thus adding another layer of uniqueness. And more intriguing still are the cases of wrong planchet strikes where the nickel design was accidentally struck on a foreign or differently sized planchet, such as a 1-cent blank or even a planchet intended for a foreign coin. And although these are exceedingly rare, examples have surfaced where the size, weight, and metallic composition do not match the standard 5-cent specifications. Yet the design of the 2015 P. Jefferson nickel appears with startling clarity, and these types of errors often occur during transitional years or when the mint is striking coins for other countries using similar machinery, and the presence of a wrong planchet coin almost always leads to explosive bidding wars at auction due to the rarity and bizarre nature of the mistake. And to better understand why the 2015 P nickel has become such a focal point for collectors, we must examine the minting process itself at the Philadelphia Mint in 2015. A year when over 809 million nickels were produced. But despite the high production volume, a combination of aging equipment, high-speed output, and occasional human oversight resulted in a small but significant batch of flawed coins escaping detection and entering circulation. And because of modern coin hunting tools like pocket microscopes, digital scales, and social media groups dedicated to error coin discovery, more collectors than ever before were able to identify these flawed 2015 P nickels and bring them to the attention of the numismatic world. And it wasn't long before these coins started commanding impressive prices, with minor error examples selling for $50 to $100, mid-tier errors going for $300 to $1,000, and high-grade, dramatic errors like double strikes or wrong planchets reaching the staggering value of $3,627 in verified auctions and private sales. And part of the coin's mystique lies in its modernity, the idea that even in a time of advanced technology and quality control systems, mistakes still occur, offering average people the thrilling possibility of discovering treasure in their pocket change. And the hunt for these coins has grown exponentially as collectors, enthusiasts, and even casual hobbyists realize the potential windfall of finding one, leading to increased awareness and more discoveries surfacing each year, further pushing up the value of rare examples. And when you combine all these variables, minting errors, visual oddities, rarity, demand, collector enthusiasm, and the dramatic increase in market value, you get a perfect storm that elevates the 2015 P 5-cent coin from everyday currency to collector's prize. And because the coin also features a modern portrait of Thomas Jefferson and a clean, classic design, its aesthetic appeal has not waned, making it a popular choice even among those who collect modern U.S. coinage as a whole, not just for errors. And as we continue to document more findings and new types of errors yet undiscovered, it's clear that the 2015 P nickel holds a special place in recent numismatic history. And with only a fraction of these coins bearing such lucrative mistakes, each newly discovered example contributes to the growing story of one of America's most valuable modern nickels. So if you're a collector, a coin roll hunter, or just someone curious about the potential hidden value in your change jar, this is your moment to check those nickels. Look closely at every 2015 P you come across, inspect for doubling, off-centers, cracks, laminations, or anything that seems off, because you just might be holding a small fortune in your hand. And if you enjoyed diving into this incredible story of overlooked riches and numismatic wonders, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the rarest coins in circulation and the stories that make them worth far more than their face value.